You know what? Let me sit up. So I can see people's faces. I can see everybody's faces.
Now, see, if you sit up, I'm gonna have to sit up too.
No, you ain't got. Well, you can do whatever you want. Thank y'all for coming, man. Thank y'all so much. This is really dope. Thank y'all, man. Wow.
So, first thing we want to do, because you know the album "Long Live Love" comes out tomorrow. So, we want all the social medias are open for your perusal. Make sure you do your Facebook Live, your Instagram stories. We want you to hashtag. If you do this, you gotta hashtag it. One, hashtag Kirk Franklin NYC19. Hashtag Long Live Love. Hashtag for your. I'm sorry.
For the slow phone.
All these little orange sheets will have all your hashtags. And I'm just reading them. I'm sorry, forgive me. Okay, y'all caught up right now because we got one more. Okay, what you want? For Your Soul Entertainment, all one word. And we're gonna take a minute.
This is so dope that y'all are here, man. This is crazy.
And RCA Inspiration. That's RCA Inspiration. And last but certainly not least, this is a short one, so you can get this one. BMI. Okay? So like I said, these little orange sheets are around if you need hashtags. So we got that, okay? Yes. Yes. That's what we're going to do. All right. So are we ready? Okay, well, first of all, let us talk about the man that is Kirk Franklin. Now, this is such a full circle moment for me because, you know, I'm from the backwoods of East Texas, and my very, very, very first gospel concert was a DFW mass recording. Yeah. And me and my mama and my brother came because I was going to school at North Texas. And the very concert that we went to was the one I think you debuted, Joy. I hadn't heard of anybody. We went in there we thought it was a recording. We didn't understand the Dallas, you know, the way the gospel industry goes. You know, we went up in there in our sundresses and stuff, and we were just like, oh. So, you know, everybody was doing their thing, and of course, you know, you came out and you did your song, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And then, you know, I went to school, went for music, and did all that stuff. Ended up doing some things with you. We did the Martin Luther King Day celebrations in Fort Worth, all that stuff. So for me to sit here and talk to you now is like a full circle moment all the way around. So I'm really excited about that. And of course, you know, While We Sing was the first one. Can I get a hand for that? Because that was absolutely a single album that just, you know, brought it all out. And throughout the years, you've done your thing, and I honestly believe that you've been my best friend in my head. And really, let me tell you why I say that, because I'm sure everybody can identify with this. When a Kirk album drops, it's almost like he came to your house, sat with you, and figured out where you were in your journey and made some music for it. Real talk? Real talk. You know, and that's always been a blessing to me. So now we are here at the 13th album, man. 13 albums. And not only are they 13 good albums, because you know, we all know that there's some albums and but you made 13 good albums. How did you do that?
I don't know. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out, though. This is like mad humbling to see all of y'all come, man. Like, I promise I don't take this for granted. I was not prepared for this. I didn't know y'all was gonna roll up like this, and so I'm grateful. And I don't want to take a lot of time. I do want them to hear the music is hot, you know what I mean, and it's warm, and we'll all start smelling like corn chips. I want to appreciate you for being my co-pilot at the last minute, filling in like this. And you know what? Because of the heat and because it's already so late, we may want to make a couple of changes if you don't mind.
You know what? This is your show, baby. We gonna do what you want to do.
Well, I'm thankful that you allowed me to be able to kind of just jump in here because of the time and because of the thickness of the warmth. what I'll do is kind of jump it off, and then I'll throw you the mic for a couple of questions, and then I'll jump it off. So yeah, the album is called Long Live Love, and what I did with this record that I've never done before in the history of my career, and I'll tell you this real quick, what I did with this album that I've never done before is because I started to struggle with a lot of anxiety. I say about 9 years ago, I started having like these anxiety attacks. Now, I've always had some depression issues and some fear issues and some anxiety, probably some PTSD from all my childhood issues. I've been in therapy since I was 18 years old, just, going to counseling and just walking through a lot of the abandonment issues and all the fear stuff that I had, And most of you know my story, so you kind of know what I'm talking about with my mom and daddy and Gertrude and adoption and all that. And so music has allowed me to have a chance to kind of give you the pill while I'm taking the pill at the same time, and it's the Jesus pill. As I tell people all the time, Jesus is my medicine, and you need me to be on my medicine. And so what I did with this record is because I started to go through the anxieties of getting older, you know what I mean? Not being the young buck no more, and start having that fear, which is, fear is rooted in pride, and so, it's like, well, what does mean, it's some young guns coming up on your boy, you know what I'm saying, you got, and it ain't supposed to be about you anyway when it comes to gospel music, and so dealing with that issue of the flesh and its own desires. That's why you got to walk in the Spirit, so you don't. Paul said, "Walk in the Spirit, so you won't fulfill them." He said, "Walk in the Spirit, and you won't have them." Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, what I did with this album, because of the anxieties and kind of feeling, just the fear of, well, I had nothing to say. I took off this past summer, and I went back to my old neighborhood, and I walked the track of my old middle school and went down by the riverside, and literally down by the riverside, and I went back to Gertrude's house where I was raised at, and just spent some time with the Lord at these places, just places in my life that I remember where I met God, those stones of remembrance. I went back to the place where I was when I first got saved, and I remember the place I went to when all the homies was getting lit and smoking, and they passed me the blunt, and I said no for the first time and went scared because I knew I became born again. Just those pivotal moments in your life that you remember God met you. And what I did is I wrote all the songs without production and without any dressing on them. I brought in 3 singers, and all I wanted to do was demo the songs, just piano with a soprano, an alto, and a tenor. And I wanted to see, will they speak without all of the dressing on them? No beats, no bass player, no string. I wanted to know, did I hear from the Lord? Did I hear songs that would resonate to a person's soul? Is God filling my pen with ink? And I just needed to know that. And so after I kind of felt at peace about that, and I've never done it before in my whole career, it kind of took me back to like with the family and God's property. I would teach them these songs in choir rehearsal, sitting around the pot and sitting around the piano with a room like this, well, not as pretty as this, but a room like this, and I would just teach them the songs. And I didn't know, then what songs were going to be, and I just kind of wanted to get to the organic space of just a melody, a lyric, and a piano. And then when I felt at peace about that, then I put the dressing on it. And so I do want to play you the very, very first song God gave me for this album, because it addressed my own monsters. And I had to address some areas in my life that kind of became what's called idols. And so the first song I want to play you is a song on the album called Idols. Sound good, don't it?